Shabbat Shalom to all of you. This morning we have the parasha Balak. This is another strange name. Balak is a king. According to our midrashim, even that he is narrated as the king of the Moabites. They think he was a Midianite with the name Sur, and then he changed his name to Balak, because he took over Moab. Then he himself was not a Moabite, but he was a Midianite. That is what the Midrashim tell us. Well, also, interestingly enough, according to the Midrashim, he is a direct descendant of Laban. And it is now a very interesting situation. And sorry, he's not the direct descendant of Laban. What our Midrashim, they tell us that Balak is a direct descendant of Lot because of the Moabites or Midianites, and comes to them. And it is Bilam, the one that is a direct descendant of Laban, Bilam. Bilam comes from the area of where our father Abraham used to come. Then let me put the things straight. Balak, according to the medicine, is a direct descendant of Lot, and Bilam is a direct descendant of Laban. And where we can say everything is at home, at the end, And now, this parasha continue from the parasha that we had last week, and at the end, Israel defeat Og and Sihon, the Amorites, and everybody in that area start trembling because Israel is preparing themselves to take over the land, the erects that have been given to the people of Israel by our Creator. Here is very important to understand something that to me I call about principles of the Torah. One thing is that when a Creator gives you something, doesn't give it to you free. It doesn't give it to you, when I say free in the sense that you take it and that's it. No, there needs to be a cost. You need to work for it. Okay? Then we, in every religion, they teach us that everything is free, and we do not understand that everything has a cost. And we need to look at that. He is giving to us, but we need to work for it. The other thing that is important to understand is that our Creator gives very clear instructions to Israel with whom you do not need to mess or you don't need to fight. And who do you need to fight? Your own family, your own mishpacha. The Moabites, the Ammonites, they're part of the family of Israel, and even the Midianites. I remember Jethro and the wife of Moshe Rabbeinu, Zipporah, that's a Midianite. Then there is all looks like that is at home. From one side, the people are coming from the Aramean area, that is Bilam, and from the other side, Balak comes from the side of Lot. But also, all they come from the same area at the beginning. The names are really interesting. Balak, most of the scholars has translated as devastation or destroyer. No? And the name Bilam, that you know as Balan, sometimes it's called Bli Am, that means without people. Another thing is a mad person, or a person without caring about others, a selfish person, interestingly enough. When we arrive to this portion, our Midrashim teaches, our tradition teaches, that basically Moshe Rabbeinu finished writing the Torah, telling the Torah, and then he put this at the end as an appendix to, to show to the people of Israel that also the Gentiles, they will have a prophet and they will have somebody for them. Interestingly enough, is Rashi, who say that Bilam was a prophet for the Gentiles. In that way, the Gentiles, the Goyim, they will never ever will complain that they never had a prophet. But let me tell you, who wants to have a prophet like Bilam? You know, it's better not to have anything. But let's go a little bit more. In these two chapters, 22 to 24, there are prophecies that are very interesting. And many of these prophecies has been called messianic prophecies. And they has been giving a messianic understanding. My interest this morning, as I have been trying to go with you through the Torah, is to try to look at the application for today. Because it's important how we can apply the Torah for us. You know, I was trying to look at a name for this message. And I was talking about a prophet or a manipulator. You know? Remember that in the Torah we learn about the manipulation in the Tanakh. We learn that manipulation is a sorcery. It's a source of sorcery. You know? And our sages describe Bilam as a sorcerer, as a witchcraft, something that he was beyond the normality of being a prophet of the Creator. But according to Bamidbar, HaSefer, the book of Numbers, he was a prophet. He listened, and our Creator would talk to him. And he will supposedly limit himself to what the Creator will tell him. Interestingly enough, you have from one side, you have we will call it the government side, and from the other side, the religious side. And they come together with one intention, to destroy Israel. But nothing new today. You know, we have not evolved too much, or we have not changed too much about that. But I also here, believe me, Israel is a culprit. And sometimes, with this desire of idealizing Israel, and we do not look at Israel as a nation, we miss that Israel's disobedience is the one that brings so many problems to Israel himself. And sometimes we do not like to see that there are consequences for our misbehavior. That is basically one of the principles that we are going to learn from here. Look, our Creator is going to protect Israel no matter what. But also is going to let Israel see that the misbehavior is part of the problem. Now, how we can see that? This is Israel is going, and he's going to conquer the land. And then Balak realized that you cannot stop Israel with regular means. Today, many nations in the world, especially the Arab nations, are learning a lesson. Israel cannot be destroyed with regular weapons. Israel is going to come out victorious. Not because Israel is the most powerful country, not because Israel is the most terrible country or terrific country, whatever we want to call it, but there is someone over there who is protecting Israel, and that is our Creator, blessed be His name. And that protection sometimes has limitations. In which way? According to how Israel is acting. And then Israel is going to suffer moments of punishment because of their own behavior. Just this week, sadly enough for me, and maybe for some of you too, they had a big parade in Jerusalem, a second parade about these people with a different understanding about sexuality. You know, interestingly enough, one of the things that we're going to see in these portions that are coming, and then the next week about Pinchas, or Pinechas, is about the sexual immorality that brings destruction to Israel. Our Creator has called us to a higher standard than the other nations. And what is the problem here? Israel, by all means, by any ways, they want to be like other nations. We saw in 1 Samuel when they wanted to have a king. They didn't have a king. And having a king, wanted to have a king like the other nations, what they were doing? They were replacing our Creator for a human being. You know, the history repeats in the religions. They always, men replace the Creator for a human being. This is interesting. People that are very charismatic, people, they are made out in a better ways, and they are described in a ways like a heroes or things like that. Well, Bilam has an interview, we call it. But Balak sends a group of people at the beginning to tell him, come and please help us to curse a people or a nation that cannot be defeated in any other way. And they say, and we know whoever you bless will be blessed, and whoever you curse will be cursed. Now, let me ask you this simple question. Is this king, Balak, was a good king? Okay? Why he doesn't say to Bilam, you know what? Bless us. In that way, this nation won't destroy us. No. Curse them for us to destroy them. That's all right. And what they say is because they make a statement here that they are like those bulls that they go through the field and they lick the land. You know, in other words, they don't leave anything alive. Look at how they put Israel, you know. Today I was listening in a debate about Israel and the Palestinians. And one of the was for the Palestinian was say Israel is not fair. Because there is no, when Israel fight against the Palestinians, there is no equal proportions. And they say, what means equal proportion? Look at in the last war, there were more than 2,000 Palestinians that were killed, and only 170 Israelis. And only 100. I mean, in order to be a fair war, there needed to be equal numbers of killing. That is what the world is today. That is the mentality of this world. No? And now the problem is because we are so political correct, so sociological correct, so so correct. You know, I don't have any other term. And what the Torah teaches? To be morally correct, to be ethical correct. Look at what the Torah teaches to be correct, and look at what the world teaches to be correct. And what the world has preferred to be correct in the area that the men think is the best. When the men change the values of the Torah, what have become? We bring a Balak. We bring devastation to Israel. Why we bring devastation to Israel? Because the only way that Israel is going to be destroyed is from within, not from outside. We are going to see here in the next chapters that Israel, because of their misbehavior, for the lewdness or L-E-W, lewdness. Thank you for the lewdness. I learned that word. It's a good word. Lewdness. They went against the Creator. And they destroy, and to destroying themselves, they were destroying what the Creator made and choose them to be a people, to be light to the world. And this is why Israel is so important. Now, let me go to chapter 23. Let me see here. Verse, first of all, in verse 9. 23 verse 9. This is one of the prophecies of Balak. He say, one part is there. Yes, from the top of the crags I see him. From the hills I descry him. A people that dwells on its own, not to be reckoned among other nations. By the way, why the prophecies of Balak are important? Not because Balak say it, but because the Creator has given him those words to say. Balak is looking for Balak to curse Israel. And the only thing that Balak can do is to bless Israel. And every message is a blessing for Israel. But one thing that he is saying, and I want that you look at this with a little bit carefully. He is not to be counted with all the other nations. What it means not to be counted with all other nations? He's going to be unique and different. And the requirements to be unique and different are very special. Because Israel is going to be Or Goyim, light to the world. Now, I want to make here a short parenthesis because it's important that you understand. I have my personal theory that Israel is not a race. It's a people that have been called by our Creator to form this nation. And this is the right way to be light to others. When God calls you, only can call you if you're going to be a blessing to the nations. He's going to call you to be part of Israel. And you're going to be part of Israel. You see here Balak. Balak is a prophet, but he's not part of Israel. And instead to be a blessing, he was a curse. Then, another word that we can say it is God has called you to be part of his people. You want it or not, you're going to need to be different to the others. Your behavior, your attitude, your way to be. Because you have only one Creator. And you don't need to bow your head to men. You need to bow your head to him. And that is a requirement that is very hard. Interestingly enough, has been my personal experience when I had lived in Israel and had been with Israelis. A great majority of what we call a secular Israelis, they would like to disappear their identity as such, and they would like to be confounded, to be integrated with the rest of the world. Because being an Israeli, being a Jew, brings too many problems, brings too many responsibilities. For us, as believers in the Creator, as followers of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, we are constantly with that problem, if we call it a problem. Why? Because our standards are not like the other nations. Our standards are the standards of the Torah. Not that we are better, not that we are more spiritual or anything like that. It is that is a requirement for us to be part of Israel. Many times I have met people. You wouldn't be surprised how many people has come that they want to become Jews. You know, and I ask them, why do you want to be a Jew? You know, because these are special people, they have this and they have that. You know, everybody talks about how great they are. But I say, do you know that to be a true Israelite, you need to be a Shomer Torah? Oh, no, I am not religious. That's not for me. It's only I want to be secular. Then don't be. Be anything that you want to. But people confuse being Shomer Torah with being religious. And totally, to me, there is here a separation between one or the other. If you are Shomer Torah, you cannot be religious. Because if you are religious, you forget about to keep the Torah. Because you think you are keeping the Torah, but what you are keeping is what man's main religion. And you need to go back always to the source of life, that is the Torah. The revelation that our Creator gave us. I close the parenthesis. Let me continue here. Then, in this, they say you are not a nation. Israel cannot be a regular nation. It's separated. Then you cannot touch it. You know, who can count the dust of Jacob? And who can number the cloud of Israel? May I die the death of the just, and may my future be like theirs. In other words, Israel cannot be eliminated and cannot be destroyed. The same promise the Creator gave it to Abraham Avinu. You know, chapter 12 of Bereshit, chapter 13 of Bereshit, chapter 15, again and again. That's it. And it's interesting, you know, about Abraham Avinu. There is a passage in the Torah, in Bereshit, that I like it, when he finally had encountered with these three special personalities before the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, or Amorrah. In Genesis 18, 18, say, and 19, what does it say? Look at he say. Abraham will become a great and powerful nation. Okay? And that all the nations of the earth will be blessed themselves by him. Repeating what in chapter 12, verse 3. But then he say, for I have singled him to command his sons and his families after him to keep the way of the Lord by doing what is right and just. Look at what Israel has to do from the beginning. He has been commanded by the Creator to do what is just, what is right. What do you think most of us Jewish people, we have this little virus inside us about justice and about fairness. And we are attacked that we are the most unjust and the most unfair people, and we are always trying to bring peace, because our calling is to bring peace to other nations. Look at the religions that want to destroy, and look at the religions that look for peace. And you're going to see. Look at the people who are the people who trying to destroy everyone, and who trying to convert everybody to the religion. They convert you by good means or evil means, depending. You know, if you don't convert, I kill you. you know, that is a very nice persuasion. That was in the Middle Ages. The Christian religion was like that. You know, I hope that nobody forget how Christianity has killed so many people, including Jewish people. I hope that they never forget about the Holy Inquisition. We Sephardim Jews know that better than anybody else, and it's still in our minds. And when they talk about love and peace, I say, remember those days. And even today, they are doing almost the same thing in certain areas. And why do we talk about this religion of peace that's called Islam? They call it religion the peace, but the peace is only if you are in their beliefs and according to their ways. But if you do not follow them or their groups, they kill you. They cut your neck. And there is no equality for anybody. Everybody is different. This is what we need to have in context today. Because Balaam is trying to destroy the only one nation that is unique and has a purpose by the Creator to bring light to the world. But what is happening today? It is Israel today bringing light to the world. And that is something that we need to consciously look at ourselves. And I believe that every day our Creator is bringing more people who there were no other people to be His people, as the prophets will say after that. And like Isaiah and Micah, they talk about, and the reading of this morning on the half Torah in Micah, what the Creator wants for us. Look at this. Let me go to Micah again, to the half Torah that we just read. Okay? And look at what he's saying. In conjunction with this reading of this morning. He's saying, from verse 5, my people, please remember what was Balak, king of Moab, plans, and how did Balaam, son of Beor, answer him from Shittim or Gilgal. For you know that the Lord saving justice. What shall I enter in the Lord's presence and bow down before the God All-High? Shall I enter with burnt offerings, with calves 1 year old? We will please with rams by thousands, with the 10,000 streams of oil. Shall I offer my eldest son for my wrongdoings, and the child of my own body for my sin? By the way, this is what I call a sarcastic and Jewish exaggeration. No? The Creator is putting the worst exaggeration to make you understand. There is nothing that you can do to please Him. In that way. You cannot do anything to forgive your sins. You cannot put your blame to somebody else. What you need to do is to change yourself. And here is the result of what He's asking us to do. You has already been told. You has been already been told what is right. I asked the people who made this parade in Jerusalem this week, do they know what is right? Oh, if you are a fanatic religion person, you are holier than thou. Has nothing to be holier than thou. I don't know a judge. Our Creator didn't call me to be a judge, and I don't have the right to judge anybody. But I have the right to warn you, because I don't want that one day you say, you didn't tell me. I say, I told you so. You disobey, you pay. There's consequences for your disobedience. And we say, you have already been told what is right and what the Lord wants of you. Only this to do. What is right? What is he asking to? To be loyal to the Creator. What I mean to be loyal to the Creator, do you remember? Ahava. Love, in the Hebrew understanding, is true loyalty. Okay? And here there has been love your loyalty, but it's to love the Lord. Because they need to put right now, love your loyalty. No, to love God. To love the Creator. What it means to love the Creator? To be loyal to Him. And then, and to walk humbly with Him. What does it mean to walk humbly? Not to put yourself in a pedestal. Not to be holier than thou. That's very important. People say humbly means, oh, I am so good. Forgive me for my sins. You know, I am a sinner. No. That's not being humbly. That's being showing off. Being humbly means, don't think about yourself that you're better than anybody else. And let Him to take over. I have been speaking for the last years about that we need to renovate ourselves to move out of all these types of isms that exist in the world, and to try to go back to basics. And basics is to, first of all, to have a personal relationship with our Creator. If you do not have a personal relationship with God, you can have anything else, but you are missing the greatest thing. How many times I have told you that the most important thing that we have is the gift that He has given us, the gift of life and the gift of free will, the capability to decide for our own. We are not machines. We are not robots. And we do not need to follow men. He asking to follow Him. Blessed be His name. This is the difference between somebody who is so religious, holier than thou, and a person who really walks with Him because he humbled himself before Him, because he realized the separation between Him and us. You know, in the beautiful Sermon on the Mountain that is told by our Messiah Yeshua, when He said, and beginning with the blessedness, blessed are those who are poor of spirit, because they are the ones that are going to inherit the kingdom of heaven. Totally euphemistic way of talking, by the way. The problem is the word pure spirit is such a bad translation from the real Hebrew and Hebrew mentality and understanding that we miss the point. To the point that in certain theologies, they used to say pure spirit means that you cannot be rich economically, you need to be poor. And then give me your money, in that way you can serve God better. By the way, that was used by the churches. Give me your money, give me your money. And the coffers, they start growing. And you give me money and I'm going to pay for, you can pay for your guilt. You can buy forgiveness. What is the difference between a Jew and a Gentile? The Gentile can buy forgiveness. The Jew loves to buy guilt. It is the only difference. We were born with that thing. But let me give you a more. What our Messiah Yeshua is saying. Blessed are those who are walking with the Creator, because being with Him, they realize who really they are. And the only thing that to see the distance between the Creator and them, they need to humble themselves before Him, or make their souls poor, or chastised. The same word that is used in Yom Kippur. It's the same idea. In Yom Kippur, they translate it to fast. Doesn't mean to fast. What it really means? To afflict your soul. That will be the literal translation. And what it means to afflict your soul? To humble yourself before Him. To recognize who you really are. And why you feel afflict your soul? Because this is a very important thing that I would like that you understand why I'm trying to show you. Our Creator is there, and we are here. Who is the one that comes near us or Him? He is the one that comes to us, not us to Him. Because to go to Him is impossible. That's it when we humble ourselves and we realize how impossible it is to reach Him if He has not reached us. That's it when you truly humble yourself. And when you truly humble yourself, when you afflict your soul, you recognize that you need Him, the kingdom of heaven. What I mean, the kingdom of heaven? His presence is to all of us. That is, His presence is to all of us. Bilam or Balaam missed the point. He was giving a gift. He was giving a very special thing. And he could have a relationship with the Creator in such a way that he could be a blessing to all the people. But he was so in himself that his best client was himself. And he was trying to get as much as he could for himself. And how do we know that that is the situation of Bilam? Because our Creator from the beginning said to him, you will not be able to curse these people. These are special people. These are the people. I bless them. You cannot curse them. And he tried not once, not twice, 3 times. 3 times asked Balak to bring 7 altars and to sacrifice animals. And every time that he sacrificed an animal, he gave a blessing to Israel. Finally, Balak got upset. He said, get away from me. And he said, I told you, I cannot do anything but saying what the Creator told me to say. And then, if you knew, why you keep staying there? You know, this is a chapter in which a donkey speaks. And according to the Torah, it's a female donkey. Not even a male donkey, a female donkey. Because the women talks more than men, no? No, a female donkey. And the picture here is he, the one that has a mouth to give oracles, to give prophecies, to speak about the grandiosity, is an animal that is considered by many people not very smart. Talks to him senses and make him to see something that he couldn't see. And what is the teaching there? That our Creator can make anybody talk. You don't need to be that special. He can make you talk. But if you are serving Him, you have a greater responsibility. Let me finish in this way. We see today what a moral deterioration of the world, but sadly enough, the moral deterioration of Israel. Israel in the desire to be counted as a regular nation by the United Nations. They are trying to do whatever is possible to eliminate that position that Israel has and only Israel has it. And that is given by the Creator. And they are interchanging the position the Creator has given to them for the acceptance of the world. And that is a big mistake. I tell you to you, my people, you do not need to be accepted by this world. You need to be accepted by Him. Don't play politician. Don't try to be everything for everybody. Because sooner or later you are going to be caught. Don't try to be more religious. Don't try to be more pious when it's not required. Don't try to be show off. But be yourself. What our Creator has called you to be. And walk the straight line that He has asked you to be. You know what? We human beings, because we are humans, we have the possibility to fail. I say possibility. Because we are constantly failing, but at the same time coming back. And this is the beauty that our Creator has given to us. The coming back. And I call it the message of the Teshuvah. You know, the beautiful relationship with our Creator. The name Israel, as I told you before, means a constant, what do we call it? Quarrel with our Creator. You know, we're fighting with Him. Why? Because we have our own mind. Because we have our own way. Because if we were robots, we will never have any fight with Him. Or any disagreement with Him. Or we never fail Him because we are perfect. But totally the contrary. Because He has given us the gift of the free will. Because He loves us to the point that He has given us, we humans, the possibility to love Him. That means to be loyal to Him. But that is our decision. He loves us so much that He has not made us robots. I want that you this morning understand this. How special you are. He has given you those things in your hands. And you don't need to prove anybody. You don't need to prove anybody that you are or you are not. It's by your ways. You know, it's interesting that most of the religions, they want to convert you to the religion. and they offer you a lot of things, you know? They motivate you. And that I call it a religious manipulation. I'm going to offer you, you know, this and these goodies if you accept this and this. But if you don't accept my goodies, I promise you that you're going to be destroyed. You know, our Creator said to us, no good is nothing. It is, you are here to be with me, to walk with me, but every walk has a cost. Be faithful and be loyal to our Creator. Shabbat Shalom.